Stop it.
Oh no, oh no!
And swallowed his meat hook whole.
How unfortunate. That is awful. Bad dating etiquette, wet t-shirt disasters, and you know what I always say, don't pull it out. Today we're back at it, breaking down all of the jaw-dropping medical scenes and insane ways people supposedly kick the bucket in 1,000 Ways to Die. Here to help me react today is my wife, Jen.
Yep, as you may or may not have known, I used to be an actress on this show, and I'm here to give you the behind-the-scenes drama on these life-altering scenarios.
Let's dive right in.
Sorry. Never known for his table manners, today, Dave was really letting it fly.
Belching. A lot of times when people have atypical symptoms related to heart attacks, it could be belching a lot.
Oh, I didn't expect that one.
Bowel obstruction could also cause a lot of belching.
Or too much broccoli.
Too much broccoli, too many carbonated beverages.
Or like garlic. Sometimes like there's weird food.
The worst.
So
It's
many-
like garlic breath. Oh.
Audrey was mortified.
Poor Audrey. Is this a first date? This is a not so great one.
Could be bad.
I mean, ours is great. I put him through the test and made him go out with my friends. Taco Tuesday, warm up before a real date the next day.
The next day.
I had just come off a shoot and I had really crazy hair and really crazy bright pink eye makeup. As long as that didn't scare you away.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Pass the test.
There you go. And look at us now, 11 years later.
Yeah.
Belching is caused by swallowing air or drinking carbonated beverages. The air is expelled back out as a burp. Dave's problem? The dozen or so peptic ulcers he's got.
Oh, so we say peptic ulcer, stomach ulcers, ulcer of the lining of your stomach.
Peptic in doctor speak means what in English?
Relating to like stomach, acid, pepsin, so all related to like the stomach. And even they came up with a medication called Pepsid. Sometimes it can cause bleeding. It can ultimately lead to a perforation of the stomach itself.
They've started to bleed out.
Yep.
His frat boy diet is about to catch up to him.
I don't like that. I don't like that visual.
Yeah, that was a pretty nasty visual, but sometimes these are pretty life-threatening. You can get an ulcer that ulcerates through a major blood vessel, sometimes an artery, and now you're just bleeding profusely into your stomach. Usually people will be coming in nauseous. They will then vomit horrific bright red blood, and you're like, uh-oh.
We got a bleeder!
We need help immediately.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get this over with.
Dave convinces Audrey to punch him in the gut.
Oh my gosh, what a
What?
bad, stupid move. Don't punch anybody on. Isn't that how Houdini died?
That sounds like some Craigslist type of stuff.
Yeah. Craigslist medicine. Oh. I think it was the timing.
That seems to not be helpful. in
Yeah,
this
nothing
equation.
good happens from somebody getting punched in the abdomen.
She actually connected to the skin.
And
vent.
a lefty.
I wonder if she's a true lefty or if they asked her because of
To the
camera.
camera.
Because sometimes you have to do things, you have to be like open to camera or do things where the audience can see it. And so I wonder if she actually was a lefty.
Makes sense.
When his girlfriend popped him, it ruptured his stomach like a balloon would rupture.
Interesting.
Interesting.
We got two pathologies going on. One, you have the bleeding ulcer. And now we ruptured the stomach, so we have perforation, we have intestinal contents going into the abdominal cavity. Increases your risk of sepsis and multi-organ failure and death.
All of the contents of his stomach
Oh.
spilled out into his body cavity.
Would he have kicked the bucket from this?
He could have if you had the combo of blood loss and infection.
Yeah, seems pretty realistic.
Just depends on how quickly you get to the hospital and how robust your bleeding is.
I just can't imagine. What if this was your first date? What would you do?
Not punch your date in the stomach. Oh, jeez.
Hal lived off the grid.
Gross. So somebody's either doing chewing tobacco or dip.
He calls it the dip.
Just different ways to get nicotine in your body. Any type of mouth tobacco still increase your risk of mouth cancer. Just different ways to get nicotine in your body.
I do fun dip.
Yeah, but
Actually, I know. Don't
that's
even.
that's hilarious. Fun dip. That's the candy, right?
Had all the tools he needed to survive.
Why is he traveling down a dirt road with a meat hook
Meat hook on a chain with a shotgun.
with a lot of camo?
What are we doing?
I feel like this isn't gonna end well.
20 feet from his shack, Hal stepped in a ditch.
Stop it. First, he rolled his ankle, so that's an inversion sprain. You're gonna injure that lateral aspect of your ankle. Gonna swell up, gonna be painful. Could cause a chip fracture to the lateral malleolus, aka your distal fibula.
Your fibula, is that in a normal circumstance the weight bearing?
That is the non-weight bearing bone. Stop it.
Oh no, oh no!
Swallowed his meat hook whole.
How unfortunate. That is awful.
That's awful.
As he always says.
Don't pull it out. This one, you need to get an airway. So the issue ends up being, it's like, how is he passing away? How is he dying in this circumstance? Not necessarily bleeding out. It seems midline. There's blood from any perforation or cut, but it's an airway issue because, you know, he has blood in his airway or he injured his trachea and he has a hole through it.
He swallowed it?
Oh, it went all the way down to the neck. You're in a remote area, no help. Eventually, you're going to choke on your own blood and become hypoxic and pass away.
Not compatible with life. Pretty
Not
realistic.
compatible with life.
Joe didn't care about anything except looking good on camera. But then Joe got the call about a story.
How sweet was that flip phone right there?
I used to work in news at ABC. You never had this many people in news. Half the time, if you worked in a small news market, or if you do work in a small news market, you're filming yourself.
Whoa.
So you're doing the camera setup, running, checking, going back and forth. You don't have 4 people standing around.
Whoa.
Finally, we got a real story to work with.
Within hours of the initial reports, the hurricane made landfall.
Oh my gosh,
Joe
sweet
could just
green
feel that
screen, bro.
Yeah, exactly. What are we in a wind tunnel?
I have been in an actual hurricane simulator. I did a reality show where we were competing to get a weatherman contract with CNN.
Oh.
These gusts are crazy coming at you, but then they greased the bottom of our shoes. We flew against the wall.
Oh, that's funny.
Hilarious.
I just want to do that just for fun.
It was not cute,
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Whoa! On TV, I knew that was gonna happen. That's a mailbox, perfectly perpendicular to his body.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so epigastric and heart, like right down. At this point, pulling it out, not pulling it out, probably doesn't matter. You're probably dead.
Immediate?
You're probably dead right away. Your heart,
Why?
you're probably
Just
heart
stops.
stopped.
He couldn't even stick it out.
Even though they say live coverage, they're usually delayed 5 seconds, 7 seconds. So
Oops.
if they suspect something is gonna happen potentially, they want 5 to 7 seconds to click to a different camera, go to a different feed, or go to an extreme wide shot where it's not zoomed in on the person.
Joe was trying to fix his hair. The 150-mile-an-hour winds had broken a mailbox free from its post.
150-mile-an-hour wind.
I've never been outside in wind like that.
Yeah, have you lived through a hurricane?
Many. I'm from New York. Hurricane Floyd was really bad in North Carolina. I slept through Hurricane Gloria in New York. That was a really bad one when I was a little kid.
Have you guys ever experienced a hurricane? Let us know.
What do we have here? Wet t-shirt contest? Nope. More like
Oh
wet
my
t-shirt
gosh.
protest.
Oh, that's hilarious.
These
That's a
women
funny
are submitting
setup.
to a public hosing in order to protest the unethical treatment of animals at this pharmaceutical company.
The hose seems pretty huge for a non-firefighting hose, but the pressure doesn't seem as high as you would for one of those. So I'm not a hose specialist.
That's what she said.
But the tubby loser couldn't handle the 1,200 pounds per square inch of water pressure blasting out of the nozzle, whipping back and forth at over 30 miles per hour.
30 miles an hour?
You gotta jump on that thing and wrangle it.
I would imagine that the end of the hose is metal,
Yeah,
and
steel.
if it's swiping around at 30 miles an hour, that could knock somebody out,
Yeah.
knock some teeth out, knock an eyeball out.
What do you do in this situation if you have an out-of-control hose?
What I would do,
Turn off the water.
Jinx, buy me a Coke.
The out-of-control hose became a lethal weapon. First, it took Lenny's legs out, and then it took him out.
Oh,
That's what I was
Lenny. Not Lenny. Wham! Nails him in the head. You can get a concussion. Here it looks like his skull got taken off and we see brain matter. So probably not the best injury to get.
Are we worried about the front of the head? Did he live without that little chunk of...
I mean, you could actually. You can survive. Deep inside the brain is where all the important structures are. Your autonomic nervous system, down brainstem area. Frontal lobe hit in this area is more personality, decision-making, judgment, these sorts of things.
I feel like this one's pretty realistic, although the unrealistic part of this is where did he get the hose?
Her drug? Texting.
Oh my God, a BlackBerry. Oh my gosh, that's a type of cell phone. There's a Whether you are a doom scroller until 2 a.m. or just up late texting, you may want to check out Do Not Disturb by our company, Life Happens, designed to help with relaxation, healthy sleep, and help you wake up feeling refreshed the next day. You can learn more about it at lifehappens.com or on Amazon.
Even her health was affected. She had constant headaches, suffered from insomnia, and was showing early signs of carpal tunnel syndrome.
I feel like headache is kind of a scary thing and ominous because it could be a symptom for everything.
Everything. Everything.
You're right. So anytime somebody comes into the ER, first time coming to the ER for a headache, we typically get an image.
It could be a brain bleed. It could
Yep,
be
something.
Finally, she sought help
This is Dr. Chin's office.
from an acupuncture specialist.
I've had acupuncture once. Have you ever had acupuncture?
I had it once. They did all the needles. Only once did I get one needle where I'm like, ooh, you hit a nerve.
Touched a nerve.
Oh,
Yeah, it like burned and stung for a little bit until it calmed down.
that's intense.
Yeah.
I believe in it because I actually went the day before I gave birth to our daughter, and I was trying to induce myself naturally, and I heard that acupuncture is one of the ways you can do that.
She came out the next day.
She did come out the next day.
Her cell phone reared its ugly head. A needle placed in her chest went right through her breastplate, piercing her heart.
Seems a little sus.
Those needles are pretty tiny, which means
Center
they
for
bend.
ants.
Yeah, and they bend. Going through your bone, pretty hard to do.
I feel like it might have stuck in a little bit further, but to go all the way into the heart.
Not even long enough.
If Leanne could have responded to her last message, it might have went something like this. Oh my God, gotta go. I'm out of here.
Realistic, not realistic, kick the bucket.
Realistic in the sense of people can pass away for multiple different reasons. An acupuncture needle going into your heart, a single needle causing death instantaneously, I find it hard to believe.
Rolling off, maybe she tweaked her neck. or
Traumatic
broke
head injury, cervical spine injury.
her neck,
Yep.
whiplash type thing.
Exactly.
That seems more realistic.
Versus the baby needle. This was good, entertaining. Some of these realistic, some of these a little far-fetched. As always, please do me a favor. Check out this playlist right here. Binge watch everything. Make sure you subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, and hit that like button for us. Thank you so much for watching.
And stay healthy, my friends.